Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot and oracle, your daily insight on life and love for January 3rd, 2022. Also being timeless, so wherever you're catching in time, it could be extremely relevant or horribly irrelevant. All I know is that I'm looking at cards. I think you're kicking off this year with a new phrase, which is F around and find out. Yeah, you're at a new cycle. You're at a lot of new things. And I also see that you're not going to cast pearls before swine in here. I feel like there's a level of how can I say this playfully, witchiness, but replace the W with a B. Anyway, all right, I gotta say as a disclaimer, this is not going to make sense to everybody. Fine and dandy, not going to sweat it. However, if this does resonate, this is going to be a very empowering message. If it doesn't, it's going to be probably just funny for you. If you have questions about booking a private session, reach out on the provided email address or find me on social platforms and DM me, ask me about services, because I do have a lot. Ask about pricing, sales, time zones, availability. Don't hesitate to reach out. Anyway. Yeah, so back to the F around and find out. You are not done. You're not letting anyone mess with you anymore. I see that this is a lack of change. And I think that this is more about you seeing it about these people in your life. I also see that you're doing a quick overhaul. This is probably a New Year's resolution or a new life resolution. You are going to be letting go of whoever these karmic people are in your life and the influence that they have on you. This is going to be happening rather fast, but I also see a fear of moving on for you. You feel like you might feel stuck. You might feel like maybe you have to. See, this is about standing around, but I feel like it's an issue with you actually moving on. So what would you be moving on to? We have the Lovers. I think that the Lovers is a very important card for you, especially coming into this new phase of life. I feel like this can't be a continuation of what has happened in the past. Part of you gets that. But another part of you also is kind of being like, you wanna know what? I don't know what this is going to bring. I don't know if this is going to be a repeat. I hope that it's not. All I know is that I can know myself enough to get out of that, like I have gotten out of whatever this previous chapter is. And I see like a hopefulness in this, but also a little bit of not giving up, but almost like quiet surrender. That's what this feels like. You don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. You're really just going to figure it out. And I think that there is an intensity in this that I think that you don't quite know if you are ready for. I do see proposals coming in. Again, this, if you look at the mini reads after this, it doesn't have to be marriage. It doesn't have to be romantic, but I do see that there is going to be an offer that is coming. I do feel like this is from you. So whatever this is going to be, we're going to look into that right now. I'm getting pulled to gracefully aging, you're stronger than you know, forgiveness, family changes. You gotta take it easy on yourself. I know it's probably a hobby of yours to beat yourself up. I need you to find better hobbies. You don't get to give up. You don't get to quit this life early. I'm sorry to say, you don't. You have a lot going for you. This is going to take a lot of willpower for you to let go of the past and really embrace yourself in this new chapter. I see the drive behind it, but there's also this level of insecurity. Can I really do this? Is this really going to be successful? The Magician in reverse is really the revealer on this for you. You're not the devil. You're not going to be dealing with the devil. You are going to be dealing with a sense of major intensity and passion, though. And that, I think, is very intimidating towards you. So it's like, okay, we need to page this up. How about we start not at 99 here, We start at 3, and we can build up to 99 and then to 100 over time. This is a level of intensity of which you are going to thrive in life or the relationship or all of the above with this. I do feel like your intimate circle is going to be going through a change, and that is where it takes really a lot of willpower on your part. There's something that needs to be forgiven. I'm not quite sure what it is. I want to look a little bit more into that. I'm getting pulled towards a Starseed Oracle. At least I think it's the Starseed Oracle. Hold on. It might not be the Starseed Oracle. I think I messed up the Work Your Light and Starseed Oracle cards. 1 second. All right, so we're going to go with Work Your Light. How do I know that this is the Work Your Light? Because the flowers on the front. I confused the boxes. Rebecca Campbell made just unknowingly confusing for people like me. All right, so what needs to be forgiven with you? Tell us from the Work Your Light. And Whispers of Love just fell, so I need to get that. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. So how is that with forgiveness? We have the Pillars of Light. All right, so your vibration is rising, which means that you have to leave lower vibrations behind. Not that you are ghosting them in your life, but they're no longer going to be influential in your life. You don't get to carry these lower energies with you. Again, it's not about abandonment, and I think that that's going to be a hardship for you to understand. Okay, so with the Whispers of Love, express your love through gifts. Simple acts of kindness, and I feel like there's one more in here. What's this? Honesty is essential. You need to talk about what's on your heart. In order for you to have any results that are worthwhile for you, you have got to be a little bit on the, not cautious side, but it's like the almost asking for forgiveness for what it is that you're reaching out to, because it's like you have to use a buffer for it. Like, listen, I know where I want to go, but I'm not there yet, and I need you to be patient with me. And you actually have to forgive yourself that you can't just duck and run and forget like the life didn't happen. So this is something that you got to talk about with the new cycle, because there's grace in this, but there's no like grace period of whatever it is that you are moving on from. So it's like it's something that is fading from the past into now. It's not going to be so much of an influence, and it's not going to be influential much further down the road, but you're still feeling this. So instead of you gaslighting yourself and being like, well, it never happened, and this is all there is to it, why don't you actually say that this is hard, this is hurting, and that you are hurt. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It just means that, oh my God, this was such an important part of your life. It was so intense. It was so much a part of you that you can't just be like, all right. All right, so I'm being pulled to the Butterfly Oracle. What does this want to say as far as, what you have to look forward to in being honest and reaching out, and I think progressively moving into this new phase, whether it's a relationship or just life phase or all the above. All right, what's this on the bottom? You get to live your most authentic life. And you want to know what? We all think that we are being authentic in that moment and we are. You need to understand that we are authentic in that moment. However, it's when we have these points pop up and we start to shove them down like, no, we can't do this right now. No, I'm over this. I'm over that. I'm over you. I'm over... And it's just that stuffing it down and trying to go about your life as if it's normal, that's inauthentic. This, when you are phasing in from that part into this part, you are going to be completely transparent and authentic. And I think that that's something that you really get to look forward to. So then we have heavenly signs. You are getting the heavenly signs about how this is going to actually work for you. And I think that you're going to get affirmations from your loved ones who have crossed over, or from your angels, that you are on the right track. This is a very important life message for some of you out there. And I really hope that if you're watching this, that this is resonating and that you do give yourself some grace. You do have support in this, and then the realizations and epiphanies are going to be coming in on how you are a different person, how you are just different in your mind and in your life, your ambitions, your drives, even in the way that you show your love language. I feel like has blossomed into something a lot more, not necessarily intuitive, I don't want to say that. It's like a lot more emotionally cathartic and engaging with you, if that makes sense. And then what's this? Relationship dynamics are going to be going through a change. So I want you to pay attention to how this shows up. We have the self-employment and we have the adult child. I really see that this, the more that you step into this, it's going to be, it feels like it's going to be more playful on your part. When you realize that you're not going to be punished and life isn't going to berate you and take whatever this is away, I think that you are going to be more empowered and playful when you are the creator of your output, and when you can recognize that. That's when I think the big playful goofball that is you comes out. All right, so let's see what's going on here. I'm being pulled to, no, I'm not being pulled to the Rider-Waite right now. So the Mermaids and Dolphins has something that it wants to tell you. Okay, what are going to be some outside factors of this? Like, what's going to be kind of looking at the snow globe that is the transition of you? We have your options. They're actually going to start showing themselves to you. Look at the possibilities and the ways that you can make change in your life. I see that you are in that snow globe, watching everything in chaos start to settle, and you start to see clear directions on the outside of this, which is completely isolated from yourself, that you are going to start engaging in and start to make way towards. So after that, we have rest. What's the outside factor? Really you having a mentally and emotionally and physically easier life for yourself. And when I say physically, it's not that you're not going to have movement. It's more like it's not going to be such a physical exhaustion that you carry. And then we have a huge set of standards that are going through the roof. And I think that you will be able to really receive gifts that you're not necessarily entitled to. It's not about entitlement, but are yours for the taking. And then it's time for you to move on. So you are moving on. Your desire to move on is there. And the let yourself receive is you giving yourself the gift of life. I do feel like you are giving yourself the gift of life. And this is going to be going through the masculine energy of outward momentum, like you actually making the steps to move forward rather than completely shutting yourself down. And then we have tranquility. This is absolutely mind-boggling. Why did I stop there? Because I no longer had that pulling feeling. We have, first you're dealing with the masculine healing that's going on with you, because this is about momentum, and that the tranquility momentum is going to be taking over. When you are not so on guard, and when you are, I guess, really trusting what your motives are and how much gravity is in every step that you take in either direction, you are really a massive manifester, a magical, I don't know. You're a magical manifester who's really in charge of momentum. That's the word I want. I see a lot that is happening with that. So When you are sure of your movements, then we have the outline part of the feminine healing, which is going to be healing your heart and your ability to receive love of numerous forms. Romantic love, this I think that you are fully open to and transparent with. And I see that this is actually going to make life easier for you. And then I see that this simplify the life. I'm being pulled to the mermaids and dolphins again. So what is this going to be? To have faith that the grief work is going to be part of your self-care. This is going to be something that these emotions and memories pop up, and you have a decision that you're going to have to make. Is this going to be something that defines you, or are you going to let this come to end, this era of your life actually get tied off on the loose end of that era? So that is going to take courage, because it means that you have to leave a part of that life behind, whether it's physical or I don't feel like it's memories, but it's like you're not living there. You're not living in the past anymore. You're not going to be hurt anymore. You're not going to be in such sorrow anymore. And then we have the motivation. What is motivating you? The new. You moving on and taking the next step. There's so much that you are moving on to. And then we have the finances. That could be money. It could also be a very enriching life. And then we have the sentimental feelings and the spiritual growth. You're really stepping into purpose. This is a magical time for you. And it's all being triggered by toxic being pushed out of your life. It feels fully empowering. It feels beautiful. And let's see, final cards. We have the empowerment. We have so much empowerment around you. When you stop saying no to something that is not you and that is against you and that is not part of your story, the more you can say yes to the things that are you, that allow for you to grow, that allow for you to take up space, and that you deserve to take up that space. So pay attention to what makes you feel constricted or that makes you feel like you are growing. We have the break free. This is going to be something that is almost anticlimactic. It's a building and an awareness and appreciation. Then it's just suddenly like, oh, something breaks. You were broken free of whatever this chapter is, this mindset is. And then we have the self-employment. You are going to be the most incredible version of yourself, the self putting yourself forward. So now I'm being pulled to the Rider-Waite. What is the likely outcome of this following the work that you are doing? So you're going to be hitting the ground running, just taking on life. And then we have, okay, so we have stressors, which are, you're going to be stressed about not being stressed. What the heck? It's like, okay, so another trigger point coming up. It's like, oh my God, life can be easy. Yeah, life can be easy. You can take on all of these challenges. You've been on this journey. You are putting your best foot forward. So help me God. You're following your passions. You are allowing yourself to live and live in the most transparent way, the most passionate way. You are going to be a different person. And that is not going to be okay for people who are so used to seeing you behave in one particular way, which is where the healthy boundaries is coming in. So we have, between the King and Queen of Swords, we have Temperance, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Wands, which is all about this journey of self-discovery and passion, and also doing what really makes you come alive. And that is the healing part. And that's going to take discipline for you to actually be, I guess, healing on this. So the tower moment is these little tower moments over this span of time. God knows how long this is going to go on with you, because it took you a hot second to get here. Okay, so we have this to look forward to. We have the Ten of Cups, a beautiful, fulfilling new cycle that you can truly depend on. That is not just about growth. This is about you and stopping the repeating of lessons that you have already learned. So then we have, you are taking a leap that is guaranteed and protected by source and spirit, that is not going to be a burden for you. Your days of juggling everything that is not yours and drowning yourself for others are over. You're not going to be manipulated and hurt again. You're free, and you're going to be so happy and in love with life. This has been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for January 3rd, 2022, also being timeless. Wherever you are catching a time, it might be relevant for your life. If you have questions about booking a private session, don't be afraid to reach out. See what I offer, see what the prices are, time zones, we'll go through the works. Anyways, I look forward to hearing from you, and I do hope that this finds you well. Until next time, stay safe, have fun, and know that you are greatly loved and appreciated. So I was shuffling because I'm getting ready to do a reading, and weirdly enough, 3 cards from Archangel Raphael came out. It's yes, have faith, and children. Well, have faith was first, then children. Wait, have faith, yes, and then children. That was the order of it. Something about a child with you. If you've stumbled your way across this, then child recovery. Okay. You've been probably really triggered recently. What about this? The trauma child in you is coming out right now. There's some sort of trigger that's been going on, and while I'm very sorry about that, this is telling you to get out of that situation. Stretch, and this has been probably showing up as a physical ailment with you, so it could be a number of things. But whatever trauma you have suppressed has been triggered recently, and it is coming up, and Spirit is telling you to either get out of the mindset. I don't feel like it's that, though. I feel like it's more along the lines of get away from that situation, or get away from this theme of person in your life. This is somebody who has triggered a very important part of you that I think has been suppressed for a very, I want to say years. I really want to say years with this. You have to change the story to stop this going on with you. You cannot maintain yourself around these kinds of people. You cannot maintain yourself without acknowledging and bringing this part of yourself out. It looks like what you're going through is going to get better. It looks like it really is going to get better, but you have to start actually taking care of yourself rather than acting like something isn't there or that it isn't going on with you. Okay, so honestly, I want you to do a body scan. Like, are you experiencing like a painful back, knees, feet, the arch of the foot, for God's sakes? For God's sakes, I have my right arch that, well, not the arch, but the top part that's been acting up. Where are you carrying that? What is this trying to tell you? And also, what memories is this triggering with you? So it's going to be a healing process with you, but this has been triggered rather recently. And I know that you don't feel like it's probably that big of a deal. It could be an event on any scale, but I really don't want you to push it away. I want you to sit there and actually look at it and see how this has been something that has affected you and your decisions, you and your environment, and also you and your health. It's been part of a lot of your decision making, whether you realize it or not, but it's coming up to be, well, I guess, relieved at this point. So what comes after that, I want to see. I'm actually getting the Mermaid. Ooh. So it's simplify your life. It's going to be easier for you. Hang on a bell. Okay. Ooh. Hey there. So it looks like some feminine energy is kind of being an a-hole. Look what I'm looking at here. I feel like there's so much mental and emotional manipulation that's happening that I think's been happening for a very long time. And what I'm seeing here is absolute chaos eruption. There's going to be a confrontation that's coming about. And what I'm feeling with this is the masculine energy is in reverse. This feels like an energy that's been building up for a while that feels like it's probably about to burst like a pressure cooker. And I think that there's a lot of manipulative, irrational energy that is going to be surrounding that. So whatever this is, it feels like a personal war with people who are close to you, or who should be close to you, who you count as some sort of circle of yours, intimate circle actually. but I feel like it's about to be coming to an end. I feel like whoever this is in your life, they haven't healed. And it looks like there's no healing that is going on, and it's somehow associated with you. It's not out of the woods yet. It hasn't been out of the woods, and everybody is suppressing themselves. Everybody is letting something build up underneath this stupid rug. And I swear to God, it is the worst communication that I've seen in a circle. Whoever this is, the feminine energy is overbearing. It's exhausting, exasperating even. And I think that this is infusing masculine energy. This could be one person who's completely internally at war with themselves and who's going to take it out on whoever's around them. I don't like this energy. I don't like that it's around you. And I feel like you've been exposed to this for an extended period of time. So what I'm seeing in this is it's got to come to an end. You might be walking away from either friendship or a past relationship or a relationship, some sort of family member. Whoever it is, it feels like some sort of narcissistic behavior. I know that's a buzzword recently, but this feels genuine. It feels like malignant narcissist behavior, and I wouldn't want you to be around that. And it seems to be that the tower moment is because you decide that you don't want to play with this energy anymore. They're not doing the work. You don't want to participate. And honestly, I feel like you're at your wit's end. So I do feel like you will be calling it quits. The card that results in this for you, or what's the result in this? Hold on one second. Just one final card, Spirit. This is going to be painful, but it's going to cause you to take charge ahead without them. Good job. Somebody has been dealing with excruciating mental health issues, and I know that whoever this is, whether it's you or them, they want to believe that they have a handle on it, and they want others to believe that they have a handle on it, but nothing is working anymore. I feel like this isn't, well, I feel like this is somebody who hasn't gotten adequate help. And I think that they have tried to do this all by themselves, or in, I feel like they've tried to do it all by themselves, or act like it wasn't there, or just try and be mindful about it, knowing whatever the shortcomings are. But now I feel like this has changed with whoever this is. And now, whatever the coping tool, it wasn't even working then, but now it's really not working. And what I'm seeing here is this is something that has a real stronghold on you. I think that, well, this is somebody who needs to get, who needs to actually go for help, whether it's family or friends or professional help. They're worried about the repercussions of it. They're worried about what people will say about them. Either that, or they reject this part of themselves. It's like they're so hard on themselves. This is an extreme challenge, and whoever this is gaslighting themselves to, I think, downplay it as much as possible, but they're feeling like they can't really stop themselves from getting under their own skin. This person, yeah, they're at their wit's end. I do see that they will be getting help. I do see that if this is you, it's time to get help. And there's nothing that you have to be ashamed of. Actually, the exact opposite is going to happen. Look, there's a lot that's going to be addressed with you. And I see that this is actually going to make things a lot smoother for you. It is a cycle of healing for you. And I do see it as a cycle of dealing with whatever the abuses are in your life so that you can move forward. This has had some sort of devil on your back. Either that or an energetic attachment. Some of you might be dealing with, I don't know, I feel like you're haunted by something from the past. I know that this is involving a lot of trauma for you, but I don't want you to think that this isn't something worthwhile to talk about. I do see that it's not gonna just help to just overlook it now. You will be getting help and you will feel a lot better. In fact, you'll be confident and you'll get encouragement with it. So whatever you do, put aside your pride and go get some help now. Why are you so afraid of being happy? Why are you afraid of being empowered? Why are you afraid that maybe you actually can have everything you want and have it all together? You're afraid of the change. You're afraid of having to start over. I've been sitting with these cards for a minute because it is just such a dramatic message with this. Okay, so this is what's telling me about what you're doing and what you're embarking on, the whole moving on and the mastery, the happiness, this beautiful, I can literally have the life that I want. I can be happy. And then pops in these. So I'm going to put these down. You're freaking out. It's excitement and nervousness. You feel like you don't have it all together. Maybe you're afraid that you're going to neglect something. Maybe you're going to neglect yourself. Maybe you're going to neglect whatever this is that you are moving on from, that is no longer part of your story. You can't neglect something that is no longer part of your life. That sounds kind of funny in saying, but it's true. If you moved on from a certain point in life and it's no longer attached to you, you're not neglecting a truth about it. You are simply moving on, which I see that is a problem here. And I see that there's a feminine energy that is attached to this, that is completely honest, blunt, truthful. I think that it's direct. I think that this is structure. It's like a combativeness with structure and the internal war with structure and discipline. It's like it's there, but it's not being enforced yet. You don't know if this is truly what you want. You don't know if this is truly what you want to go after, and you're freaking out about it. Listen, you're going to move on. You are going to have your wits about you. You are going to be building an empire. And I really love this for you. There's so much that you get to focus on that's going to be prosperous for you. And I think that this is a point of, I want to say, discipline. The discipline that is coming through with this, that I think is what you're afraid of. Can you keep up with this? Are you really somebody who could, lead a life that is going to mean so much happiness for you and what you stand for, and still be disciplined around it? Or are you going to lose the magic in it? So I want a final card for that, Spirit. And okay, so yeah, it is, but it's going to take some convincing on your part whether or not you're worthy of it. So it's kind of time to talk about some things in your life, and I do feel like this is springing from adolescence or childhood events, something that has gone through you with the formative years of your life. And I also feel like this is going to be something where you're not sure if you're going to have the support in talking about what it is that you need to talk about. I see you pushing through that fear. This is what we're looking at right here. You're standing your ground. Honestly, this is going to work in your favor. You're afraid of backlash from it, but I don't really see it happening. I see that you're anticipating some sort of bite back or fight from somebody in your life. I think that this is the age of awakening with you and talking about what has been holding you back. And I also feel like this is worrying about the negative judgment that you'll have about yourself. I think that you are in two minds about what it is that you do need to talk about, what it is that you do need to share. All in all, this is a phase of your life where you are going to be learning to let go. I feel like you're speaking the truth, the blunt, God's honest truth about yourself, who you are, what your story is, and whatever the hang-ups have been. And then you're putting out and you are letting it go to fall where it may. It's not you being vindictive. It's not you being abrasive. You're not trying to hurt anybody, but you can't hold on to a story anymore and act like this is somehow just a story in your mind. This is a reality, and I think that this is going to be something that gives you a lot of emotional fulfillment in just getting it off of your chest. I see a whole new cycle beginning and a whole new world that you're kind of stepping into with it. So the support and the healing comes after you break the barrier on pretty much the first syllable that is coming out. I feel like there's a lot of apprehension about even opening your mouth to speak about whatever this is. And what I'm seeing here is, listen, all it takes is one little seed of intention, one little word. Just look at what it is that you are trying to do. And this is something that actually is very progressive and healing and growing for you. And I don't feel like this is going to have the lack of care and concern that you're anticipating. I do feel like you're going to have an issue being vulnerable, but that's going to be squashed rather fast. And I do feel like people in your life are going to step up and kind of be this gift from Spirit from you. I do feel like this is truly a gift from Spirit that is coming in as support. So you're flying high, you're finally free from it, and now you can begin the authentic version of whatever this chapter is. So there is a feminine energy that is either in you or around you that is setting you free. And this is somebody who's blunt, honest, truthful. I feel like this is something that is really healthy as far as seeing connections in your life. It doesn't have to be romantic relationships, but relationships of all kinds in your life through completely new eyes. I really want to tell you, stop inviting painful people in your life just because it's familiar. Emotionally manipulative and something that really does not respect what you are saying. It feels like you are fighting for some sort of equality or some sort of respect and boundaries. Whoever this is, if this is you in your life, you're starting to see relationships through completely different angles. And I see that you're not going to be holding back anymore. I see that you are making some sort of proposal. It doesn't have to be marriage, I'm not saying that, but it is a proposal of interaction with somebody, and it feels like it's on an intimate level. Whoever this is going to help you move away from really emotionally abusive connections in your life. I think that this is somebody who calls a spade, and that this is something that you can really look forward to. It's, I feel like it's a balance. I do feel like this is an essential balance in your life, and I do feel like this sense of neutral and nurturing and, this balance, I do feel like it is helping you move on from the past. I do feel like there might be something of a hang up with this, though. What is the hang up? Ooh. Because then you have to acknowledge where you have been completely out of balance in your life, and where you have been carrying the burdens, and where you have stopped yourself and not had any willpower towards these connections in your life. This person, not only do they help you see the manipulation of others, they help you see the inconsistency in yourself and also the sacrifice of yourself. So there's got to be something that comes to an end in this. Like, what has allowed this energy around you? What has continued this lack of discipline in your own life? I do feel like there is a deconstruction and a reconstruction happening simultaneously. And I do feel like this is provided in a neutral and safe environment for you. So it feels like a complete overhaul for you. I do hope that this finds you well.